God. I'm a god boy.
Taylor about the fucking flex.
So hey guys, my name is Ray, and today's the day that I have some bad news. Well, good news and bad news at the same time because, as you guys saw, we were supposed to have Tony Teflon on today, but Tony has been feeling really under the weather, so he won't be able to make it in today. That sucks, you know what I mean? We all would have liked to have had him here, but, let's be grateful that he was going to come on, and we'll probably have him in the future. Let's just hope that he gets better soon and he hangs in there, man. I know, because I've caught a couple of flus, like bugs recently, and it sucks when that shit catches you. So, shout out to Tony. We'll be more than glad to have him on the channel soon. It was going to be epic with him, and it's still going to be really dope without him, just because I put so much work into today's episode. I was just rearranging some things, and, I had to rearrange it because, Tony wasn't going to be able to make it. So, it would have looked really wacky if I would have left it as was. So, I did some tinkers here and there or whatever. So, if something looks weird, hang in there with me. It's because of that. But let me give a shout out to everyone in the chat who is joining us. Renee of House Stark, the One True Dave Adams, the Imagination Realm. Let's see, Peter Griffin, Chrissy of Old Stones, LMR, Living My Rhapsody, Chrissy of Old Stones, like I said, Bubba Husky, and everybody else in the chat. Thanks for joining us live. Yo, it is insanely hot in this room right now. So if I look like I'm sweating, it's because maybe I am. But I'm super excited. Shout out to T Baby who's joining us also in the chat. Now, yeah, I put the blue in the background because since I was expecting Tony, I was like, I don't want to force my computer too much, so I didn't want to do the whole chroma key thing, and because it kind of like one thing I noticed from last week's stream was that I actually kind of lose frames and it looks like it pauses at times. That's because I have so many things running on this computer at the same time. So, I'm trying to have that I'm trying to adjust that as we go and learn what is too much for my computer. But I'm super excited to be here because we've had so many things drop in the last 2 weeks. So many things that it is insane. And it's funny because yesterday we were supposed to go on Tony's channel, but Tony, like as I said, Tony's sick, so you know what I mean, we weren't able to do that, and I kind of knew that there was a possibility he wouldn't be able to come on today because I guess he had a bug or something. But today we'll knock down this stream, and tomorrow I'm gonna be on AU Pack Mule's channel, so that should be dope. Hope to see you guys there. So let's dig right into this, man. I have a certain amount of topics because we did get that trailer. That beautiful, beautiful trailer. And I had a few points that I wanted to talk from that trailer that I think were really dope. Stuff that is really interesting that we could, dissect as a group here. And let's dig right into this. So the first topic that I wanted to talk about was one that a lot of people were talking about, right? Because it was so fascinating to see someone who is so fearless, yet at the same time is so afraid. So let's dig right into our first topic, people. Arya running for her life because she was running. All right. So what was Arya running from? Now, in my opinion, when I see this, I have a couple of thoughts, right? One of my thoughts is she's not scared of people usually per se, right? She looks like she has her weapons. She has the dagger. Why would she run from a white or a White Walker when she could just probably go head to head with one of them? Well, the more and more I thought about this and I saw some of your guys' thoughts and just the overall Game of Thrones community, what they think, it was very interesting, right? And one of the things that it made me think so much about was, like, for example, when you look at Arya, what could make Arya run the other way? One thought that I've heard out there so much is the possibility of it being like Ned Stark or one of her family members being revived or whatever. And I don't believe that that's the case. And the simple fact that I don't believe that that's the case is just because how would you even recognize that that is one of them? Like, unless that shit jumps from straight out of the crypt, I don't see a scenario where Arya would realize, like, oh, this is my father, because her father's been dead for years. And I'm pretty sure that he must be decomposed beyond recognition. Like, you know what I mean? He must not know who that is. So just that alone to me makes me think that, I don't know, like, I don't believe that that would be Ned Stark. Plus his head isn't there, or his head shouldn't be there. Also, Rob's head shouldn't be there if it were there. But like, I just don't see a scenario where those bodies are holed up enough for her to know that they are who they are. You know what I mean? I just don't see that as like a realistic thing. And you see, KJ says also, exactly, she wouldn't recognize them. I don't think I don't think she would recognize them. What I did think is, who could she recognize that? Because if she's running from them and she's terrified, it immediately made me think that it's someone that she might know that has been reanimated. And when I started thinking about that, I'm like, no, they wouldn't kill this person. No, they wouldn't kill that person. And I'm like, you know what? They probably might. And I thought maybe, and I'm not saying that these characters are going to die per se, but I'm saying, like, could you imagine that it's a reanimated Gendry? And Gendry's chasing her? And she's like, no, Gendry, like trying to bring him back or something. I think that to me sounds interesting. I think that if it were like a family member, but I don't think that any of her family members will die at Winterfell. Like, it's funny because I expect possibly Jon to die, right? Like, Jon is one of those characters that I think he has a real chance at dying. But I don't think that Sansa's going to die. I just don't see a scenario where they kill her. Like, it would be so messed up if they killed her. Even though Sansa's not my favorite character, I think that there's not a chance that they kill her like that. But could you imagine Sansa chasing Arya and Arya being the one that's scared now? Talk about poetic. I also thought Hodor, because I did see a couple of images that were like released and whatnot, and I saw images of like I saw an image, I think it was Marie, of Game of Theories of Marie. Marie had an image on Facebook, I think it was. And she had like a very cleared up, and to me, I could have swore I saw like two people, right? And one of them looked on the shrubbery side, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if it were the guards from the previous season that stopped her? Because yeah, they're of Winterfell. She probably is a little bit more familiar with them. They know her now. They probably respect her. They could even build that up. Let's say, for example, if they build a little bit of a funny relationship with Arya and those two guards, it would be interesting. You know what I mean? To see them reanimated, them running after her. And then I could see why she would probably be scared of them running after her, and she probably not wanting to put them down. Because I hear a lot of people also say that she might be like setting a trap or something, and that could be the case. But in that one shot that she's like against the wall, that one shot tells me that they're not seeing her, and she still looks flustered as fuck. So you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that that's exactly what's happening. One of the ones that I've heard a lot of is the possibility that it might be a White Walker. And that's an interesting one, you know what I mean? Even though she still has a weapon to fight them, and she probably could very much defend herself against a White Walker. I mean, we've seen Mira do it. We've seen Sam kill a White Walker. We've seen a bunch of other people do it. So why couldn't an Arya do that? You know what I mean? I could definitely see a scenario where Arya could get away with killing a White Walker, but I don't know. Let me see what you guys think in the chat. I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Let me see. Let me go back a little bit. Rickon, maybe they did not burn his body. Yeah, because they did say that they were going to put him in the crypt, right? John did say he wants to bury him in the crypt next to his father and family, right? So I could definitely see a scenario where a really decomposed Rickon could be in the crypts. You know what I mean? And one of the things that to me has always been, and I say decomposed because, you know, they say that beneath Winterfell is like the whole spring thing, right? Like there's hot springs beneath Winterfell. But did you notice that the crypts are always cold? Like that's something very interesting to look into. Like there's a lot of anomalies down there. Let's see. Let me go back. Reanimated Gendry. Went through David Adams says, "Damn, Ray, you sick as George R. R. Martin." Yo, I could definitely see a scenario where Gendry would be revived, like killed and revived. He killed what you call it with that hammer, but that hammer isn't going to be good for killing whites. I'm sorry. I just don't see a scenario where what you call it, where he actually gets away with that. It could be John resurrected. This says T baby. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that, just due to the fact that I feel that a reanimated John. That to me, it would suck if John died again before it's like permanent. If he were to die, let it be permanent. I don't think it should be something that should like played with. But I think that if it's for one like a White Walker, I think she has more than enough tools to actually fight the White Walker. You know what I mean? She has enough tools to fight somebody else. I just think that she might not want to fight whatever is chasing her. You know what I mean? I think that that's more of the thing. Like, what is chasing her? What is she running from? To me, that's the bigger deal. But all right, let's dig into our next topic on the trailer, because I wanted to talk about this because this is something that was irking me a lot. It was driving me a bit crazy, and it had to do with this scene right here. But this is our next topic. Let's dig into the topic next. All right, so when I broke down the trailer, one of the things that really stood out to me was this right here, right? All these scenes right here with John. And it's funny, I arranged them in the order in which I think they might happen. John and Daenerys walking towards Drogon and Rhaegal, and basically, it looks like they're gonna mount them, right? Like they're gonna go upon the dragons, and it looks insane and looks crazy, right? But to me, the angle in which we're seeing this tells me that they are writing them in these scenes. Now, it's interesting. I was gonna put the clip of the trailer from Infinity War and then the movie, but in Infinity War, they removed stones from Thanos' gauntlet because of that, right? They released it. And basically, it's so that they don't spoil something in the promotional material, or they don't tell you basically what's going to have happened by that point in the story ahead of the movie releasing. So when I see this, I'm like, yo, we see Sansa looking at the dragons. When Jon and Daenerys get there, she's going to be right in front receiving them. She's not going to be up there. I doubt that that's the situation. So I think that she's going to be down there receiving them. I think that this right here is Jon and them go to mount the dragons. They fly over Winterfell. They continue flying a little bit all over the north. And these angles where we see over the dragons, I think that's supposed to show us Jon and Daenerys upon each one of them a dragon. Like these scenes, it's crazy when you go back and look at not the Field of Fire 2.0. What's the name? What did they call it again? I forgot off the top of my head. But whatever they call it again, the Spoils of War, and the Spoils of War, when you go back and look at that episode, these angles are the same angles that they used in they used these same angles in the Spoils of War. And to me, it's interesting that they probably removed them from these scenes. Like, it's interesting because we really didn't see anything, I think, past episode 3. Nothing that we saw was past episode 3. So I don't know. It got me excited, but I'm interested to see like how Sansa and them are dealing with this once they find out that Jon's a Targaryen. Because for me, Jon to go on a dragon is very telling. To me, that's telling me, like, you know what? Jon has kind of accepted this whole I'm a Targaryen thing. All right, let's see. I couldn't agree with you more, Marie. I think that he's definitely going to ride him. I think that in that scene that they're walking towards them, I think specifically that he's going to ride the dragons. All right, let's see. Jon is definitely riding a dragon again. Let's see. Shout out to everyone joining. Proto Peach, the loot train. Yeah, that's what they call it. N plus all day. Let's see. Damn, the Wolf's Wood looks awesome from above. Hope to see more. I mean, I am very, 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 very much interested in seeing Winterfell. They said that they built up like a whole castle. And hearing the Grey Worm actor, I believe it was, he says that like they built out a castle with like hallways. You could legit go down certain hallways and stuff like that. That apparently it is very, very epic. So I'm very excited to see what they did with Winterfell. LMR says, I think they are on dragons as they fly over the cliffs. Yeah, I think that they're definitely on them. Like, I think they are 1,000% on top of them. I bet Bran is jealous. What a ride. Tyrion too. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, KJ. What you call it? I do like the fact that the dragons look more the colors that they're described, and you can actually tell them apart. One thing that I don't like about Game of Thrones as of like the last 2 seasons, especially last season, is that it seems like the color palettes are a bit darker, and I know why they're doing it because of the whole winter is coming thing. But to me, it kind of throws me off a bit. You know what I mean? I think that it's too vibrant. I mean, too dim color wise. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. We don't need to see flying dragons anymore, so Jon is flying on Rhaegal. Tyrion was also cut from being shown in the dragon pit scene. That's what I thought, was one of the thought that Tyrion shot looking up at Jon riding a dragon. I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. I pretty much have been saying for like 2 years now, like since the previous season ended. Yo, I'm pretty sure that Tyrion is gonna betray Daenerys. Like, I don't see a scenario where he doesn't do something really, really effed up. You know what I mean? Just due to the simple fact that Tyrion he may say he doesn't like his family or he's upset with his family, but Tyrion loves his family. And I think that he is definitely going to be one of the ones to betray Daenerys. Like, I think that he might be the third one. I think that there's something there just due to the simple fact that, like, yo, the more and more he sees that Jon... The only thing that I don't like is that they're making it seem more like if Jon is in love with Daenerys, and that's the reason why he might betray them, because of her getting with Jon. But I just always think that Tyrion, I mean, would always betray Daenerys for his family because he loves his family. He's told Cersei as much, like, you know what I mean? And I think that he feels a certain guilt for having killed Tywin and everything that fell upon his family afterwards. And especially because his family has fallen from, like, where they used to be to where they are now. So I definitely think that there's something interesting with Tyrion there. And if you really, I don't have the scene here, right? But when you look at that clip, when they showed Drogon breathing fire, they showed Daenerys and they showed Tyrion. The way that they show it is, I think they show Daenerys close her eyes, and then they show the dragon breathe fire, and then they show Tyrion. So to me, that's just kind of trying to hint at us or make us think that Daenerys might kill Tyrion or burn Tyrion or just putting it in there. I'm not saying that's how it's going to go down, but I definitely think that Tyrion is kind of suspect in the upcoming season. Let's jump on to our next topic. Interesting. All right, there we go. What you got? So, what do I think? What do you guys think about the Golden Company, Harry Strickland, and all of these dudes? Now, I personally tend to believe that the Golden Company will not be as big of a deal, or I've been of the mindset that they weren't going to be that big of a deal, right? I've always been saying for like a year now, since I knew that they were really going to be on. I've been of the mindset that they won't probably bring that much to the table. We know that they have like the elephants and they have all this shit. I honestly don't think that one HBO is going to invest that much into the budget or whatever, just due to the simple fact that you're basically making two. If the Golden Company really were going to go into battle, it would have been 2 times them filming like 30+ days, and I just don't think that that's the case. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that that's what they're going for. I don't think that that's what's happening there. You know what I mean? I think that when it's all said and done, the Golden Company, something else will happen there. You know what I mean? I think that I think that there might be something more like to do with politics or something more along the lines of I think that it's interesting because I've been thinking a lot about Jorah, right? Jorah Mormont, he says that he was in the Golden Company. We know that. I wonder if there's something to be had or something to be said between Jorah and maybe whoever's running the Golden Company right now. We know, and it might be this guy right here might be Harry Strickland. So I think that I really don't think that the Golden Company is going to play that big of a deal. I just think that it was like a shiny new thing to put into the last season to kind of give Cersei like one last leg to stay on the pond. Like, you know what I mean? We saw her army decimated last season, and I don't think that they're going to bring much to the table, but I'm interested in seeing what you guys think down below. Yvette says, Quaith gave Dany a warning about a lion. She did. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure I did a video on it, and I remember a bunch of people like, no, he wouldn't do that. No, no. We'll see. Cherie McLean says, with you with that Rayz, Tyrion is going to betray Dany. I think that he is, because just due to the simple fact that, again, he loves his family. And will he honestly kill the last of his family? Because if he kills Cersei, he might have to kill Jaime. Like, you know what I mean? He knows that Jaime loves Cersei. So by doing something to Cersei, he would hurt Jaime, and he doesn't want to hurt Jaime. I could definitely see a scenario where he betrays the shit out of Daenerys. Arya will kill Tyrion. I could see a scenario where something like that happens. Something a la Littlefinger. Game of Thrones and Marie. I like this. Game of Thrones and Marie says, true, Yvette. Olenna also warned Dany about smart men. I agree. When you look at basically Olenna was telling him like, yo, I've outlived all these very smart men. Look at like don't and to me that's the thing. It's like in that video that I did a while back, I remember I said something along the lines of like, when you look at Tyrion, he told Jon, don't hide who you are. Be what you are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't. And then when he sees Daenerys, Daenerys is somebody who probably he can't control. He's telling her to hold back. I'm not saying it's like a feminist type thing. Like he's like a misogynist or something like that. But I think that it's more of a manipulating tool because he's scared of her. We also saw it last season that Varys and Tyrion were like, you have to get her to listen to you. You have to get her to listen to you. Because they want to control Daenerys. They don't want to let her be who she is and basically put into work whatever she got her where she is. You know what I mean? Yes, she had good counsel, but I think that Tyrion is very resistant against letting her develop into her own person. Plus, I think he has feelings for her, as we did see that they did say that. So, you know, there's a lot of iffy-ish in this show, man. There's a lot. One True David Adams says, they look formidable, though. They do. I'm not going to lie. Harry Strickland, if that is him, his armor looks dope as fuck. When I saw it, I was like, damn, that looks cool. Like, it just looks very different from other armor that we've seen in Game of Thrones. Will we see elephants, says Chrissy of Old Stones. I think we might see an elephant or two, but I don't think that those boats are going to be carrying like thousands of elephants over to Westeros. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't see that situation happening. Plus, I'm very curious to see what they would want to do once in Westeros, right? Because we know the whole history of the Golden Company, Bitter Steel, Targaryen bastards, the Black Fires, and all of that. So, to me, it's very interesting that they are coming back to Westeros, and they're coming back by the sitting monarch, whoever's sitting on the Iron Throne specifically. That is an interesting spin. But again, I don't think that we're gonna get much out of it. If we do, I would be more than happy. But I don't think that we're gonna get much. I think it's gonna go down to a political game. And plus, also, I think that once we get to like episode 4 or maybe episode 5, I think that we're gonna start tying up loose ends on everybody's story. But it would be funny to see like some barbecue elephant. You know what I mean? Like Drogon. That's a big ass meal for Drogon, man. If any of the dragons survive, of course. Nicola says Qyburn will turn the Golden Company against Cersei. Yeah, she's gonna go batshit crazy at one point. You could definitely bet on that. Alicia Kingston. Hey, shout out to Alicia. Shout out to everyone in the chat. All right, let's see. So let's move on to our next topic that I wanted to talk about, because I wanted to talk about this, and it is man, it's crazy. Before I even start, guys, let me just tell you why it's taking me so long, kind of. Basically, I for today's stream, since I knew it was gonna be like with someone else, I was like, you know what? Let me get the older program that I had a little bit more control over. So that's why it's taking me a little bit more in between transitions. But it's definitely interesting using it, because I'm using this older program that I used to use. And that's why it's a little today, I think. But bear with me. All right, here we go. There. Bam. Jaime Lannister in the North. What is Jaime bringing to the table with the North? Because last time we saw, Cersei was very adamant that she is not going to help the Northerners. To me, leading to the fact that maybe Jaime might go by himself to the North. He's not bringing any troops or anybody. So who or what could Jaime bring to the North that would help or assist the Northern people? And it's funny, I just thought about this. Very interesting thought. And we already talked about this, but as I'm talking about this, I just thought about this. Listen to this. Listen to this. What if the person chasing Arya is Edmure Tully? A dead, reanimated Edmure Tully. That's what I just thought. I just thought about that shit. I haven't heard that anywhere. I haven't seen it anywhere. But as I was talking about Jaime, because I think that Jaime's going to bring Edmure, what if that were the case? To me, that would be very interesting. Why? Because, one, Edmure is family, and if he is trying to kill Arya, that could be an issue. I think that could definitely be a situation that would freak Arya out, and her not wanting to kill her uncle. But let me know in the chat what you guys think about that. And I'll get back to that right now. No, I don't think she would be scared of Edmure. I think she wouldn't want to re-kill him. Like, if he's a reanimated body and he just infiltrates, people, he just passes by people because they don't realize that he is a white, or they haven't realized it, or there's more whites and they didn't realize, or whatever, he just snakes himself through. If something like that happens, would Arya go ahead and kill her uncle? Like, would she be scared? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just thought about it while I was talking about Jaime, because I've been of a strong mindset that I think that Jaime might bring Edmure to the North. But I could definitely see that kind of freaking Arya out, especially if he's really hard trying to kill her. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Undead Mira. Does Arya know Mira though? I don't think that she has any relationship. Arya wouldn't recognize him. That's interesting. Alicia Kingston says, "Does Arya even know what he looks like? If she knew that was him before the battle started, if he's there before everything popped off, he might. I mean, I'm just saying it could be like." I don't know why I went back to that, but as soon as I was like, "Oh, Jamie's bringing Edmure," I was like, "Oh, bam, this is like that YouTube brain." You know what I mean? Like that would have been a video if I would have said it right now. Connie Super says, "Have any Stark children ever seen Edmure ever?" I mean, I think so, but the thing is, in my opinion, or of my belief is that even if they don't know who he is. Because Sansa kind of knows who he is. I mean, she knew about the whole Blackfish and all of them in River Run. She knew that was going down there. So I don't know. Maybe she might know him. You know what I mean? I don't know. It could be interesting. I mean, I agree. Game of Thrones Marie says, "What if it will be someone that Arya cannot kill, so she is running?" One of the things that I have heard around that I'm like 50-50 on is if it's a faceless man or like a faceless assassin or something, and like they're trying to finish her off because she left the House of Black and White, and it's probably the waif Deus Machina or like whatever. She has like a bionic arm or some shit. But I mean, I personally think that it might be someone that she cannot kill, or someone that she deemed unkillable, right? Either emotionally or just skill wise, right? She feels that she cannot challenge this person, so she is running the other direction, right? Because she knows she can't do that or do whatever needs to be done. I just don't think that it'll be someone in the crypts because I think, one, they're too decayed and that stuff. But I don't know. This is gonna be the Bolton. The It's funny. I was hearing Marie and AU talk about this. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I was hearing them talk about the Bolton cross right before the Battle of the Bastards, the X crosses, whatever. And everybody was like, "Who's that? Who is that? Oh, it's Davos. Or is this?" I'm telling you. This is going to be that because it might not be anybody and she's just freaking out because she saw some crazy shit. Like, who knows? But back to Jamie. What does Jamie bring to the table? Well, like I said, I think he might bring Edmure Tully to the North because, one, we did see that HBO released who was going to be in the first episode, and we did see that Tobias Menzies or Mendezes or whatever his name is, the guy who portrays Edmure, is going to be in it. We also saw that the actor who portrays Robin Aaron is going to be there and a few others. So I think that Jamie might bring a few troops, maybe Bronn. No, definitely Bronn, because I forgot. The actor can't be with Cersei, so there's no purpose of having him in King's Landing. So definitely Bronn is going to be in the North. But Bronn, Jamie, Edmure, a few maybe loose people or whatever. That's what I think he could bring to the table. But I think that more than anything, Jamie is his mindset, like his mind, his military mind. We do see him in the battle midst commanding the forces against the dead. So that should be interesting. What do you guys think Jamie brings to the table? Let me know in the chat. And I'm very curious to see what you guys think about that. Undead Podrick. I think. I mean, I've been thinking a lot recently about whites, and I'm gonna be releasing a video on this. I always said I'm gonna release a video, and I'm always slower to release these videos, but I really do believe that some of the memories of the whites stay inside of them, and maybe skill or mind or territory or some shit. I think that part of that stays within the manipulation of the Night King or the White Walkers, whoever reanimates them. Because I have a few things in my mind. And it's funny because it always comes from like questions that I get or like other topics, and I just spin off to something else. It's crazy, man. Alana says, yes, I was just about to say that, Rayz. I don't know what it was, but thank you for agreeing with me. Nah, I think they closed that storyline, says T-Baby. Which storyline? It's probably her mother. Arya? Arya's mother? I don't know. I think they might do a Lady Stoneheart. What if Arya there, that spear, a Night King at the Night King, but he just pulled it out and just kept on going. She discovers he's unkillable. That would be interesting, right? I mean, if you think you killed him, you're like, yeah, I got this mother. And then next thing you know, he's just like, yoink. He's like, you ain't get shit. To me, that would be very, 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 very interesting. I just don't think the Night King will get into Winterfell that easily. I think he knows, because let's be frank and let's keep this 1,000%. I'm gonna keep it as 100 as I can. Everybody knows how Game of Thrones is gonna end, or at least this war against the dead. The Night King will die, or they will come to an agreement. One of those two. And we saw it foreshadowed in the last season in episode 6 of season 7. He said, kill him, kill that one. He's the one that turned them all, and we win. That's what's gonna happen. I wish it's a little bit more interesting than that, but to me, that's what's gonna happen down the line. Alicia Kingston says, I like Timfo, but the waves a stretch. And I don't think it's Jackin either. Ah, okay. And I remember what T-Baby was talking about. She was talking about the Faces Men storyline. Okay. I don't think it's Jackin either. He was happy to see her leave Bravos. When I say the waif, I don't think it's necessarily the waif, because I think that she killed the waif. Like, she killed the person who hated her. That being said, I could definitely see a scenario where there could be something there for, like, there's something more to Arya. And I mean, I've always said it. I've been saying it for like since season 6. I believe that Arya's storyline will not end happy, because Arya is such a like unusual character. She's like she's a young girl that's like, you know, like this crazy assassin. She's very dark. She has like, and she's kind of chilled on that a little bit, but her bloodlust is insane. And unless that dwindles and that comes down a little bit, I don't think that her storyline is going to be happy. I don't think that when it is happy, it could be cool as a viewer to see Arya, this young girl, wanting to kill all these people who wronged her family. But when you really look at it and take a step back, if that's all that Arya's story turns out to be, that's a sad story, in my opinion. That's sad. All right, let's see. Let me go back a little bit up. Alicia Kingston says, only thing that Jaime brings is a Valyrian steel sword that he needs to give to Arya. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I bought myself one of those those like foam Game of Thrones sword. I'm waiting on it for tomorrow. I don't know why I bought it. It was such an impulse buy. Thank God I didn't impulse for like the $300 one. But I was gonna buy Widow's Wail. Out of all of the swords, the one that I actually like with the I'm like, damn, that sword looks sexy, is Widow's Wail. I know it sounds probably funny because it's Joffrey's sword, but the way that they have like the stag like on the hilt, oh man, beautiful. Bella, man. That's, oh my God. That shit look beautiful, that sword. Wow, Game of Thrones with Marie coming in strong. She says, I don't think Jaime will leave the North. He will die there. Oh, that's fucked up. That's messed up, Marie. I mean, I think that Jaime will live just because I think that he and Cersei have to see each other again at some point. And I think that after they see each other again, you know, shit will happen. But I think that I think that would be insane if they killed him in the North. No one would see that coming, except you, Marie. I mean, yeah. Now that you say it, now it's a thing. Now I'm like thinking about it. When you look at Jamie, he's not really a fighter. Yeah, he could, you know, he's more of a military man or whatever. But was he even good at that? We saw that Rob was able to, you know, trick him a few times. We did see that. He did take Highgarden and he tricked Tyrion and them. Tyrion isn't a battle commander. Like when he was put against the test against another tactician, he lost with young Rob. When he went up against Tyrion, who isn't one, he won. So is he that good? He's experienced, but is he good? I don't know. Nancy T, mother of blankets. Oh, shout out to Nancy T. Oh, she can't stay. Thanks for joining us anyway. Let's see. Alicia Kingston says, how could it be Catelyn? I don't think that it is Catelyn. I think that whole Lady Stoneheart thing is dead. I think it's been dead. And since we haven't seen anything from Beric, any mentions, anything out of the ordinary, I just don't think that that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Game of Theory says, imagination. In the pic, the one I'm showing here, I'm guessing she's saying, above, he is facing a trial. Is pardoned, but Jaime will fall in battle. I think there will be confusion and everyone will be running for their lives. It's interesting, man, because I have a topic upcoming. Let me see, where's that topic specifically? It's a few away, but let's keep it moving because I think it's definitely going to be interesting. All right, let me see. So this was very curious to me because we're talking about Jaime, right? Perfect segue. Perfect segue for me. We were talking about Jaime, right? And to me, this topic might have something to do with Jaime. So, without further ado, people, this is our next topic. I'm of the mindset, people, that Bran was talking to one of three people. When I think that Jaime was talking to someone, I think that one, he was either talking to Jaime, Daenerys, the least probable one to me is Daenerys, and Jon Snow. One, when we do hear him say, everything you have done, you know, got you where you are here today, you know, whatever here, and then he says home, right? To me, the home part sounds like it's something very separate. It doesn't sound like it's originally from that clip. You know what I mean? So when you put the home part, it sounds like it's Jon Snow right away. That's immediately what I thought. But when I saw it, I'm like, you know what? It also sounds like it could be Jaime. Him forgiving Jaime for what Jaime did. Or Jaime telling him, like, yo, what is this? What da 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 da. Like, you know what I mean? I'm very curious to see what you guys think about this because I know that this one guy was like, yo, how could you be so stupid? Da 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 da. Like, nah, he's talking to Jon Snow. Da da da. I'm like, nah, pump the brakes, buddy. In previous seasons, we have seen them put weird clips of audio over scenes that aren't, you know, we've heard audio clips over scenes that it doesn't belong to, right? So then when you look at it, like, for example, a few years back, we had You Like Games, Little Man. And basically, they showed Tyrion. When you hear someone say, you like games, little man, and then they show Tyrion, it gives you the thought that maybe they are talking to Tyrion. They're calling Tyrion little man. He's small, right? But no, who were they talking to? Rickon. And it was Ramsay Bolton. Ramsay Bolton was talking to Tyrion? No. But just because something is over a certain scene, or it sounds like it is, that necessarily doesn't and it's funny because it's something that I've learned the more I've edited videos and the more I do this type of stuff. It's that sometimes even in reality TV, you hear certain things and they're not even from like they didn't even say it live when they filmed that shit, and they just voice over it to make certain things sound a certain way. And the more you deal with audio, the kind of you kind of pick up on things a little bit more. You know when things are pieced together. And I'm not saying that it 100% is pieced together, but to me it sounds a little bit like separated and pieced together. I personally am of the mindset that there is a very high possibility that he was talking to Jaime Lannister. And the reason I think that is, one, because, like I said, they have that beef from before. So there's definitely a chance that, there's definitely the chance that Bran is like, I'm not Bran anymore. I'm the three-eyed raven. Everything you did brought you here today to help us. Da-da-da-da-da. That home part, to me, is very, very interesting. Like, that could be from anything else, and they just put it there. But let me know your thoughts in the chat. I'm very curious as to see what you guys think about it. Shout out to Mara Jade. Let's see. All right, Jorah needs to touch Jaime's golden hand. Jorah touches all. All right, let's see. Elamar says she's getting a snack. Snacks are everything. Let's see. I think it's Jaime first, and Home is right. Home is the Night King. I mean, could you imagine the Night King talks and then like Bran's voice comes out of that shit? That shit would be hilarious. Hey, don't get me wrong. I think it could be Jon, but I think that it could also be Jaime. I think that home part is very interesting how they threw it so separately. That's what it made me kind of curious. But it's funny every time that we see a trailer like that, and then like you hear the scene, you're like, "Oh, I heard that." Like, I like to question things. Let's see, Ian. Shout out to Ian Renfro. Let's see. You see, I agree with that, T-Baby. T-Baby has a good point. And T-Baby says, yeah, Jon been home, so that wouldn't make sense. I 1000% agree. Why would, like, Bran, who got there after Jon took back Winterfell with Sansa, be like, it led you back home? Like, nah, bro. To me, that sounded weird, mad weird. Like, I don't know. It sounded so separate to me. Game of Thrones Marie says, I think Bran is talking to Jon just before the war. Sam turns and frost is coming out of his mouth. Could be Jaime too. They have done trick editing. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The frost thing, I started thinking about it a little bit earlier today while I was doing all these snippets for like the backgrounds and stuff. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I was like, this little frosting coming out, that's definitely a hint that the White Walkers are right around the corner. So, man, I'm yo, words can't describe how excited I freaking am for this like upcoming season. I am freaking excited, people. I am beyond excited for this shit. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like every time that I see like a little snippet or the trailer or someone else posting a video, I'm like, oh man, this is more real. It's more real. It's so real now that like Game of Thrones is gonna finish. To me, that's the only sad part about it, right? That it actually is going to finish. There's gonna be no more Game of Thrones, and it's gonna be jacked up. It's gonna be really shitty when Game of Thrones ends. But the cool thing is that there's a couple of things that could substitute Game of Thrones that, you know, that'll hold you off. I mean, the next couple of months are going to be insane. I wanted to talk about one topic, but I wanted to talk about it in an individual video. But I'll talk a little bit about. I'll just mention it right here. People, and I'm curious. I'm very curious about this. Before we go to our next topic, I'm very curious. Game of Thrones, the battle at Winterfell, the battle versus the dead, the big climax battle of this whole series falls on the same weekend as Avengers Endgame. Now, I know that everybody here loves Game of Thrones, but do you guys love Avengers and Marvel? And if so, would either one deter you from seeing the other? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very curious about this because me and my brother were talking about this, and it's insane. I think that Marvel will lose money because of this, because this episode is going to be crazy. And I bet you there's going to be a crazy cliffhanger on episode 2 for episode 3. And, oh my God, just me even thinking about it makes my head want to explode. Hey, shout out to John Haymaker. Shout out to Linda Guerrero. Now, the Imagination Realm says, I'm hyped for the prequels. I am too. It's going to be extremely dope. It's going to be really dope, really exciting. I'm pretty excited about it, but there's just, oh man, I'm just of the mindset that the prequel could be good, but it will never be at the climax of Game of Thrones. Like, what Game of Thrones was and is right now, that prequel is a tall glass. Like, for you to follow up after what we're going to see, it could be trash and we're still going to love it, I think, to be honest. Like, we're all going to be going crazy every week. Like, this shit is going to break records. It is going to be insane. One True David Adams says, that shot with the White Walker and the horse at the end of the trailer will be the end of episode 2. Yo, if that's the end of episode 2, nah. You know what's going to be the end of episode 2? Viserion. Like a motherfucker. Viserion flying, and we're going to see the Night King on his back. I'm telling you, there's something iffy about not seeing Jon, Daenerys, and the Night King in that shot. Like, you had seen, like, either the dragons or something, but they didn't show none of that. Oh my God, that shit's gonna be epic. It's gonna be so dope. It's gonna be freaking dope. It's gonna be so awesome. I'm geeking out right now. Shout out to Big E, who's joining us. Good evening, Reavers, he says. Let's see. Imagination Realm said, can you imagine if it's better? I'd have to quit my job. I mean, if it's better, that'll be dope. There's a bunch of shows that I'm really excited to see. Like, for example, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I know that's a big sticking point with a bunch of people. But I haven't seen Lord of the Rings. I probably should see it before the series comes out, because I think that the series is going to be something that a lot of people would like to see videos on or something, or I could do videos on. I'll definitely check it out. Like, there's a couple of things that I already see on Netflix. I actually watched Vikings. Vikings is really dope, but I know that Vikings, I think this is going to be the last season of the season that's coming up next, so it should be interesting. Shout out to Kevin Clearly, who's joining us in the chat. Connie says, calm yourself, Rayz. Oh my God, I can't. Just me even thinking of, Viserion, fuck y'all up. Oh my God, it's going to be so dope. It's going to be super, super, super dope. Yo, it's funny. I was thinking about this because I know that a bunch of people are going to do streams on YouTube afterwards. I've been thinking about, I had people tell me to go on their streams and stuff, but I'm thinking about streaming on Twitch. I don't know. Just a thought. I'll probably come back to you guys with that, but I definitely think on Twitch there could be something to be done on Twitch. Really, really dope. When Drew David Adams says, I need a voice to drag. You bet. Shit. Alicia King said, Ray, I'm gonna need you to get your life, son. Laugh out loud. Enjoy the last season of Game of Thrones. There will not be any other TV show like this in the old format, an episode a week. I mean, I agree. It's crazy because when you look at everything now, everything is consumed binging, right? Like they release all these episodes all at once, and like yo, week to week like this, how HBO does it. Not everybody could do that or would even do it. You know what I mean? It's really insane to me how well they actually push all this shit out. Like I was looking into it, and for the most part, I think the only season past April or like May, I think was the latest, was season 7. But yo, everything is binging. Like for example, like Stranger Things. I really, really love Stranger Things. Stranger Things is a great show. To me, the last season of Stranger Things was better than the last season of Game of Thrones. That's how much I loved it. But the fact that they release it all in one weekend, when you finish seeing that show, you go into serious withdrawals. Like you go into like, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? Like you legit question, what are you gonna do? What are your priorities? And I have found myself at doing that. T Baby says Stranger Things is my shit. I'm not even playing with you guys. I love Stranger Things. That shit is so dope. I know. We have to wait a couple of months to see. I think it's like 4th of July it comes out, right? Chrissy of Ozone says Stranger Things season 2 wasn't that good in my opinion. The thing is that to me when I see it, and I wouldn't act like I'm old enough to be like, oh my God, because I was born in late 88. I mean in 88, right? So I was born in the late 80s. So I'm like, yo, when I see it, I'm like, it still gives me like a nostalgic thing. Like, yo, like, and it's like you look at things and you're like, yo, you remember that. So to me, it's really dope seeing that. That being said, I think that it was I personally enjoyed it because I thought that they wouldn't have much of a story to tell. But the way that they're going with it, I think there was only one episode that I didn't like in all of season 2 of Stranger Things. Last Kingdom, yes, Alicia Kingston. It is dope. I love that show. It was really good. It was interesting this last season, you know what I mean, with the whole Alfred thing, but it was really dope. Ian says, I was born in 88 as well, Rayz. It's a great year, man. We aged like fine wine, baby. Look at this. Look at this. I could imagine you, man. Like, yo, 88 was a great year. I've never met someone from 88 that I didn't like. Just saying. All right, let me see. It's mad funny. I said that I ordered a long claw sword or whatever. I'm like, I told my brother, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna be sentencing you to die every day. I used to grab a remote before when I started watching Game of Thrones. I would follow my brother around the house, back and forth, just talking shit. And I would be like Eddard when he in the pilot, I would be like, I raised the Alba of Washington Heights, sentence you to die. And my brother would be like, fuck off. He's like playing games and whatever. Funniest thing ever, man. I should record it. KJ says, raise the Alba making me feel old. Don't feel old, man. Yo, and it's funny because this is something that the older I've gotten, when I was younger, I used to be like, when I'm 25, I'm going to be married with kids and like, I'm going to have a house. I'm going to have like property and shit. Guess what? I don't like, and it's crazy. You think that 30 is such a big like number, but like I still feel mad. Like I don't feel it. Like there's certain taboos about age, but like look for example, Game of Thrones. When I see Game of Thrones, right? I see, for example, people like I see the demographics at who looks at my videos and whatnot, and it's such a wide margin of people and ages and in countries that watch my videos and talk Game of Thrones and people who comment. It is insane, and I just love it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that all these different people could come together and to one thing that they like, and it's like a common ground, and we all understand it. We all look at it differently sometimes. We see characters at different stages in life and stuff. So, I mean, it's really dope. Game of Thrones, that's one of the things that I love about this whole YouTube thing. You know what I mean? Alana says, we love you, but you're making me feel old. I hope not. I'm telling you, age ain't nothing but a number, man. That's like legit. Like, yo, it's crazy. Like, when I think that people like in Africa are seeing my videos, when I think that people in Australia, like Australia is one of like the most popping countries on my, like, people who watch my videos. Like, I love that shit. Like, that shit drives me crazy. You know, I love everybody in the U.S. You know what I mean? My fellow countrymen, I love you all. But, yo, it geeks me out every time that I see someone, like, from another country seeing my videos. That is insane. I love that shit. That's dope as fuck. All right, so let's move on to our next topic that I had here. I have a few more. And I really want to go to the big one, the big topic. And we'll talk about that now. So, let's see. Oh, man. I wish I would have used my other program. It would have been probably a little bit easier. All right, so what do you guys think is happening in the Crypts of Winterfell? I personally think that Jon Snow finally found out what is up with his family, right? We see Jon Snow and Daenerys in the Crypts. We also did see a snippet of Varys and Gilly and Baby Sam in the Crypts. And basically, I think that one, Jon Snow knows about his parentage. He knows what's up here. The crypts are very much lit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fire, a lot of candles in there. It's very interesting, right? But when I think about the crypts, I'm like, one, it is going to be shelter. Like I said, we did see Varys, Gilly, and women and children, it looks, there in the crypts. It's interesting because John did say that the women and children would have to fight. I guess since now they have more people, they're like, you know what? Let's leave them in the crypts and sheltered and whatnot. So that should be interesting. But I don't know, man. Poor Jon Snow, man. Poor Jon Snow. Alicia says Jon Snow found out everything and is trying to comfort him. I think that that is something that is going to happen. You know what I mean? I think that he might feel a little bit awkward. He banged his aunt. You know what I mean? That'll definitely throw a wrench into your plans, right? You're like, go, yo, could you imagine Jon Snow? Jon Snow's like, yo, guys, she's really cool. Yo, you guys will love her. Oh, she's the best. Oh, she's so wonderful. And then next thing you know, Brandon's like, yo, we need to talk. Homie, bro, cuz we need to talk. And I think that that's kind of what happened there. He's like, when you see she comes up to him, she's like, it's all good. Our family has always done this. And he's like, damn, I banged my aunt. That's what's happening here, and it is fucking funny. I don't know, man. When I saw this, I was like, okay, one, John found out. He's not taking it well. I wonder what is going to happen. Like, for example, that scene when Daenerys, like, she closes her eyes and then we see, like, the dragon fire. I was like, yo, what if in this scene she finds out she's actually pregnant? Because I used to think that she will definitely be pregnant in the upcoming season, right? By the end of it or whatever. But what if she finds out that she's pregnant, or she finds out and then she's like, oh man, like, this dude is not in a good mindset, da 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 da. Like, there's a monkey wrench, man. This is gonna be interesting. Like, I can't even think of one character that I would not want to see on screen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, probably the only characters that I would not want to see on screen a lot of time are maybe Grey Worm and Missandei, because they're kind of awkward. It's kind of weird, but I mean, they have a love story. It's good. Everybody else has like mad drama, mad weird shit going on. They got stuff to deal with. Like, for example, Grey Worm and Missandei individually might have great storylines, but their storyline together is a little bit weird. I don't know if I want to see their romance turn into anything, but I mean, Jon and Daenerys, like everything about them. Who is going to sit on the throne? Like, how is she going to feel when Jon has a bigger claim to the throne than her? And how is she going to feel if she's pregnant? How is Jon going to feel about that? Like, it's going to be, I'm telling you, it's insane. When would she find out? Will any of them die? Will single parentage? Like, yo, some crazy shit, man. Ain says, it seems like he's been a baby for a long time. God, I'm not alone. Something ain't right about that baby. I mean, there is something weird about that. To me, one, if she is indeed pregnant from that one time they banged on the whole boat sex thing, if she is indeed pregnant from that, then that would mean that she wouldn't probably know by, I don't know, how long did it take to get from White Harbor to Winterfell? Maybe a week? Would she be able to really know by then and like 100% be sure of it? Like, you know what I mean? And if she found out, would Jon let her ride into battle? I doubt it. Like, you know what I mean? So it is very interesting. Then Tyrion on top of it, he's very protective of her. Will Tyrion want it? Like, I think that Tyrion has his own agenda, but then again, like, there's a lot in there, man. And their relationship could get very messy very quickly. Connie Super says, Ned was keeping Jon away from the threat of Robert. I mean, now that that threat isn't there, it is extremely telling and it is very interesting to me. You know what I mean? It should be interesting to see where Jon goes when he finds out why Ned did everything. You know what I mean? It should be interesting to see how he feels about Ned after he realizes everything. As Ron Weasley says, the world's mental. I love Harry Potter. Like, the last 6 months, my love for Harry Potter has grown so much. Really shouldn't be a big deal for their world. I know it's gross and stranger for you, but their society doesn't run on our rules. That is true, but even within their society, when you really look at it, it is a little bit taboo in Westeros. The Targaryens did that thing, but I mean, aunt to nephew, that still is really, really close, I think. And we did see that the faith didn't appreciate of the Targaryens marrying as they used to. So it isn't that it is a thing of our world that's taboo. It's even taboo in their world a bit. Especially when you, I mean, can you imagine how they're going to feel having to explain the incest on top of the Targaryen? Like, Jon has enough problems as is explaining that he's a half Stark, half Targaryen. When you add on top of that he's banging his aunt, I don't care about anything in that world. There's going to be taboo for everybody. Like, that shit's going to be weird. It's going to be awkward. And especially when they find out that it actually happened. I mean, Bran has probably been peeping in, so he'll probably knows, and everybody in Winterfell knows probably about it. But, I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting one, man. It's going to be weird. T-Baby says, I can't wait to see dragons fighting this season. Me too. The thing about the dragons is I'm like, it's going to be nighttime when it seems that they battle. Are we just going to see, like, dragons fighting and then we're just going to see, like, the blazes and we're not actually going to see, like, the actual dragons? That one scene that we see, I think it's Drogon, like, throwing fire, spitting fire. Yo, that shit looks dark. He looks dark. He looks like the pop figure of Drogon in that one. Like, he looks really, really dark. So it should be interesting to see how it looks at night, especially when we see these two dragons spitting like red fire or like orange fire, and then you see Drogon with like, I mean not Drogon, Viserion with the blue fire. That's gonna be dope. It's gonna be insane. Mary J says, anyone else up last night with Spring Forward, Insomnia, Game of Thrones tinfoil theorizing? Yes. I mean, this is going to probably throw me off for like a week, and then I'll adjust, I guess, to the whole daylight savings time thing. Ain Butler says, it doesn't require time change for my all-night tinfoiling. I mean, as Game of Thrones has gone on, I feel that tinfoil has been frowned upon a bit. I think it's always good to have a good amount of tinfoil in your mind, or be open to different theories and different point of views, different thoughts and stuff. Kevin clearly says, I got hammered at movies. I mean, I saw yesterday, I saw Captain Marvel, and it was interesting. Probably not my favorite Marvel movie, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It was funny at times. Got a little bit, slower as it went on, but it ended well. So, I mean, T Baby says, I love theories that people come up with. I mean, I could hear a theory and be like, yo, that shit is batshit crazy. It will never happen, but I still love it. Like, I love it. Because I'm like, yo, that shows that, like, you're actually seeing details. You're looking. You're actually, like, the worst thing to me is someone that just sees, like, what they want to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then criticizes other people that want to see more or more open to seeing stuff. Like, for example, I don't believe the theory about the waif, and I always go back to this one. But for people to be questioning if Arya was the waif after, the whole thing that happened when she left the House of Black and White, I think that that's an honest to life real question. I don't think that that's like over the top tinfoil, just because there would be, how could I put it? I don't want to sound like I'm saying that that's what happened, but when people questioned it, I was like, I could see why you would question that. Like, you know what I mean? There's something to that. There's something of value to an organization of assassins to infiltrate a powerful family that has just gained control again, right? And infiltrate that house and have power and have leverage. I think that that's something that could really happen. But when you discard things like that, I think that it's like, you just want to see what you want to see. You know what I mean? That's just me. I don't know. Yo, I see people saying no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers in the chat. No spoilers. We do not do spoilers on this channel. No, I agree. Alicia Kingston says the waif would not be doing everything that Arya is doing. I agree. I don't think that Arya is the waif. But immediately after the ending of season 6, if people are questioning if that is the waif, I think that people, without a doubt, are within their right to question it. Like, give me something as concrete. Give me something concrete before season 7 that you could be discarded. Like, no, that's like 100,000%. Like, that's to me. There was nothing before that, and before season 7 aired, to me there were things like, for example, her going to see Hot Pie. To me, that right away debunked everything, right? Like, if you're looking for things that would debunk it, to me, her meeting up Hot Pie was interesting. The way she reacted when she saw Jon Snow was king in the North, that was something. You know what I mean? But to me, like, you can't just discard things just because they don't fit whatever you want to think. You know what I mean? Like, I think that happens a lot in the community. Like, for example, like, I think that specifically even with, like, creators, right? Like, I think that sometimes people like certain creators, YouTube creators, and they think that a theory sounds dope, and then anything that doesn't fit that one theory that they like doesn't fit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole story. And I think that that's not the case. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't buy into that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my belief system is that, yeah, it sounds far-fetched. It probably isn't going to happen, but you should still question it. I mean, one of the craziest theories out there was that Littlefinger was still alive. I was like, but that shit made me roll. That shit had me going. I was like, that shit is funny. Because, could you imagine if theories like that didn't exist during this long night? Or the crazy shit that we wouldn't have? Like, we would have nothing Game of Thrones because HBO doesn't release anything during the long night. So I'm all for it. Herb Coswell says, I thought Tony Teflon was on here tonight. Yeah, he was supposed to be, but he's feeling under the weather, so he wasn't able to join. That's why I actually removed the name before I went live. But yeah, man. Hopefully in the future we should have him on the channel. We could have him on again, but you know, it sucks. I really wanted him on, but you know, we gotta have his health in mind and how he's feeling first. So, you know, whenever he's able and he would like to come on, I'll definitely have him on. Like, you know what I mean? He was mad cool about it too. Like, you know that he's under the weather because yesterday too we were supposed to go live, and he wasn't able to even do it on his channel. So he wasn't able to do it yesterday on his, and he wasn't able to do it today because he's really sick. Like, so you know what I mean? Hopefully we'll be able to do it in the future, but everyone have Tony in mind, and, you know, go show him some love on his Facebook page. You know, some get well soon. LMR says, spoilers. I love that unique way of putting that out there. Oh, shit. New York. Have a good night, Ain. Ain Butler Smith is heading out. Let's see. Herb Coswell says, Q&A, who do you think was chasing Arya in the trailer? Personally, I think she was being chased by newly raised whites. One of them, if being maybe someone she knows, like Pod. We were talking about this earlier, so I probably won't go like too much into it, but I think that there's a strong possibility she was being followed by, like you said, a recently raised white. That's maybe the first thing I thought. And I earlier, like, randomly brought up maybe it could be like Edmure or her uncle. Even though everybody in the chat says that she might not even know how he looks or have a connection to him, I think that there's a strong possibility that, you know, there might be something there. Like, you know what I mean? That she probably met him before and she was like, oh, this is my uncle. You know what I mean? Some of my last remaining family. He dies and is reanimated. He chases the shit out of her. Who knows? But I do think that it is someone who she either feels she can't kill. Like everyone brought up in the chat, that there's somebody probably that she feels is above her talent of killing, or it's either someone that she emotionally can't get to kill. You know what I mean? Like she emotionally wouldn't be able to do it. I see people say Rickon. Raid at Rayz part 856. Yo, for real, man. And I live in Lower Manhattan, and like this is like noise all the time. Shout out to Gloria Brown in the chat. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. Oh, I see. I'm muted. My bad. So like I was saying here where I was muted. I see here the white legs, right? Everybody thinks that this is Ghost. And I'm like, I don't think that it is Ghost, But if it is Ghost, he is dead. I'm going to do a video on this, on why I think that Ghost should stay far away from the battlefield. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Ian says self-censoring. Okay. All right, there we go. Everybody has audio. Hey, oh, snap. Shout out to Filthy Casual in the chat. Long time no see. We're always talking about playing 2K. We never got around to that. They do look like paws, and it kind of looks like a tail at the end, right? And it looks lower than the hooves. But I don't want that to be Ghost, man. I'm scared if that is Ghost. No, yeah, definitely, sure, Shuri. I mean, I will be doing like a crazy. I want to do it, and the only thing is I got to figure out how the logistics, right? Because, for example, if I do a live stream, right? You either have to sacrifice the other stuff, right? Like all the lower thirds, all that stuff to have other people on. Today I was gonna have Tony on, and I was gonna try it out with Tony, but it's hard, and the stress that all this stuff puts on the computer that isn't designed for it, it is insane. You know what I mean? So I would definitely, I'm definitely planning on having a big live stream before the season, but I'll let you guys know like at least a few weeks before. Herb Coswell says not Ghost, but I think it's Nymeria and her wolf pack. I mean, that would be really nice if it were. You know what I mean? If it were the wolf pack, I would feel a little bit better because I'm not as close to Nymeria and her wolves as maybe a Ghost. I want Ghost to be there at the end next to the throne if it is Jon or Daenerys or whatever. Like, I think that would be dope. Could you imagine, let's say Jon does die, but his direwolf is there to like take care of like his child or grow, like, you know what I mean, or whatever. That would be nice to me. One thing that I am curious about, will Ghost like Daenerys? Let me know what you guys think in the chat about that, because to me that is something that should be very interesting. We saw that Drogon like Jon. Will Ghost like Daenerys? Alicia Kingston says, I don't see Ghost. I don't see how it could be Ghost. That would mean he's been dead this whole time and we didn't know. What do you mean about, like, how is he exiting? Because it looks like they're exiting. We do at one point see a shot that they're, like, running towards, like, the gate or the door. So maybe they're heading out with them. I don't know exactly what you mean, but... Or are you just playing because of the name Ghost? Kevin says maybe he died because of starvation and everybody in the show just forgot about him. Ian says Jon likes Dany, Ghost will like Dany. Smiley face. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe it would be nice if if he liked her, but I don't think that necessarily is the case. Connie Super says Ghost equals snack. Tinfoil stream Rayz, you gotta get Lady D on that. I mean, I'm down for everybody. Like, I want to start having guests on. The only thing is that since like I really wanted to have Tony on today because we've always been like, yeah, we gotta link up on and stuff. So it was really dope. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure we'll probably do it down the line. But I want to start having more people on my channel because it's always good to to talk Thrones. To me, I'm more of the mindset that the questions that people ask are more valuable than the things that people actually respond to those questions. Like, you know what I mean? If you have people asking the right questions, you always have a great topic. And to me, that's something that I think that comes it comes more easier when you have more people on the stream. You know what I mean? Alicia Kingston says, "Why would Ghost not like her though?" Well, I mean, pets are kind of messed up, man. Like my dog hates me. He hates me, like bad. He always chases me and shit. Little Chihuahua. It had to be a Chihuahua. I named him. Funny story. I'm about to, tell you a story about the dog in my house. We got a Chihuahua. My mom was always pampering the Chihuahua. The Chihuahua always got whatever the Chihuahua wanted. The Chihuahua, I bought these like new shoes, cost me like $150. That's a lot for shoes for me because I don't really wear shoes like that. Got these really nice shoes. Guess what the dog did? The little Chihuahua. She ate my shoes. She destroyed it. I'm not even joking. She really destroyed them. The dog, like a week into my house, destroyed my shoes. So I was like, oh, you always see for the dog. Because the dog, they always say yes to the dog. They give the dog everything the dog wanted. And when you would try to correct the dog, they would be like, oh, he's small. Oh, no, wait. Oh, she's small. She has a little heart. They die of heart attacks. Which I'm not sure is even a real fact. But my mom would be like, oh, they're little dogs. They have little hearts. You yell at them and they might die. I'm like, that's not true, but okay. So they destroyed my shoes. So every time they would just say yes. They were yes men for the dog. So I named the dog CC. Like yes, yes, right? In Spanish. CC, yes, yes. So when we got a boy, it would only be right to name the boy No, No. Like no, no, and yes, yes. So that's what we named the dogs. And basically, Cece, yes, yes, died. And No is the only one that's alive right now. And No hates my guts because I was always the one to correct him. And he hates me till this day. So that was story time with Rayz. Biggie says, because you're a hater, the Chihuahua knows it. No, Chihuahuas are the devil's dogs. Like, they're evil, bro. Chihuahuas, man. Filthy Casual says, kill the dog. The only way to make it right. Yeah, he might kill me first. Yo, I'm telling you, that dog can't even see me. Like, I have him locked up in the room with my brother right now so that he doesn't, like, start barking at me because he hears me talking. All right, Q&A. In the original outline, Arya and Jon were two who fell in love. That is no longer the case, but some people think it still happened. Do you think it'll still happen? Personally, I don't think so. No, I don't think it'll happen because, one, Jon is banging his aunt. That's creepy enough as it is for him to not be banging his cousin/sister. And, they have a brotherly relationship in the show, so I don't think that they would even go around that. I've always been that if Jon were to hook up with one of the Starks, it would be with Sansa, just because they're not that close as he was with Arya, but it would still be creepy as hell. So I don't think that'll happen. I think he'll end up staying with Daenerys. Yeah, man, that Chihuahua would destroy my shoes, man. I was so mad. Gloria Brown says Chihuahua. Yeah, I did say Chihuahua earlier because that's how somebody wrote it. That's funny. Kevin says a man shouldn't have a dog shorter than his knees. It's not my dog. He hates me. At this rate, the dog will probably outlive me. Like, he looks healthy as hell, man. Chihuahua went full Rick James and said, "Fuck your shoes, Ray." Yes, he did. Linda Guerrero says, "My mom had a teacup Chihuahua, and she let him get away with everything. He peed on everything. My mom didn't care because he was so cute." I'm telling you, people, give your dogs, like, be strict with these dogs, man. These dogs be reckless out here. Like, they be peeing on shit. Like, I had a subwoofer, like my home theater system, and I can't even leave it in the ground because the dog will pee on it. Like, you know what I mean? And he's cool. We got him home trained now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now he's cool and he doesn't pee on everything or shit everywhere. But, like, he hates me because I used to correct him, but now he at least has something. You know what I mean? He could go anywhere and he doesn't, like, do whatever he had to do. Kit was mad at Sansa, not Sophie. I agree. I mean, that was funny seeing that video. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys should look it up. There's a video that Kit Harington looks like he's very upset. Or he says that he was surprised how much it affected him. How Sansa would meddle with Jon Snow and stuff. It was really funny. Maybe Ray is just that short. Shout out to Tina Sarah in the chat. Oh my God, so long, Tina. That's one of the cool things about doing chats every week and live streams is that, I get to see everybody again. You know what I mean? I'm super excited. That gets me super hyped. Shout out to Tina Sarah in the chat who's joining us live. I know it must be mad late where you at, so thanks for joining us. Ian says I gotta pee on the dog to show him my dominance. God, if that's the only way of showing him my dominance, I think that I won't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. He probably might bite my joint off. He hates me. I'm telling you, he really does. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. All right, guys, why is Cersei drinking? Cersei isn't supposed to be pregnant. Why would Cersei be drinking? To me, this is something very interesting because last time we saw Cersei, she was allegedly pregnant. And we see her drinking. She looks a little bit saddened here, so you know what I mean? She might have had like a little, relapse type stuff going on there. But it's very interesting that, we see her drinking there and whatnot. Do you guys think that she's pregnant? Because I don't. You know what I mean? I think that there might be a little something there that she's, I think that she might have had the miscarriage because if you guys didn't know, last season, there was supposed to be a scene that she might have, I don't know, this is allegedly. This is what I heard after last season. There was supposed to be a scene in there in where she had a miscarriage. But maybe, who knows? Maybe they removed that scene because they wanted it to be her lying or her acting that she was pregnant. What do you guys think about Cersei and her pregnancy? Do you guys think that was a legit thing? Or do you guys think that she's just playing everybody? She's drinking for two. Let's see. She lost that baby. It's hinted in the books that she will lose her baby. That said, T-Baby said that. Let's see. Gloria Brown says, is that even a thing? Pregnant women not drinking? They let little kids drink, okay? I mean, I could definitely see what you guys mean, but I think that it is not within her best interest to be drinking. You know what I mean? I think that if she was smart, she wouldn't be drinking. We don't know if Westerosi women get told not to drink. Yeah, but we did see her not drink when Tyrion offered, or like Tyrion and her, you know what I mean? She was like holding her belly and whatever. So maybe she's hinting at that. Yeah, they definitely made it a thing. Yep, I agree. Pro Peach says it had it too. Last season it was a thing. Like she didn't want to drink because she was pregnant. So it does mean that Westerosi women know not to drink when with child. And let's see. Now back then they probably would have been like, "Yo, you want to do a beer keg or some shit?" Like they didn't care. That is true, Proto Peach. Proto Peach says that's part of how Tyrion knew she was preggers. Tyrion knew she was pregnant because she didn't want to drink. And when an alcoholic says, no, I don't want any, you know, like, because come on, Cersei and Tyrion are full-blown alcoholics at this point. But I mean, this image to me was very interesting because she kind of looks saddened, but kind of happy. Or kind of, I think that, I forgot who put it best. They said that she looked very smug. And I think that that's the perfect word for it. She looked very smug. Biggie says, not drinking while pregnant is a modern thing. Shout out to Muse. Let's see. I wonder if Cersei will ask Qyburn to try to save the baby like the mountain. What do you want, Franken baby? Nah, I don't think she wants any of that. Let's see. That rumbling sound you hear while she's about to drink something that sounded great before the set blew up. She looked like she was trying not to cry. I mean, I think that there's something sad to Cersei's story when you really look at it and in the bigger picture, in the big scheme of things. You see Cersei, she looks kind of, bummed out. She looks kind of sad and whatever. But then again, Cersei don't give a flying cojones. Like, she don't care. I could definitely see this in a scenario where, like, the Golden Company probably leaves her. She don't have enough money to pay them or some shit. Probably the Golden Company and the Iron Bank realize that they're on the losing side, and they're like, you know what? We're not gonna back you anymore, and they just jump ship. I could definitely see that happening. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to this, because this was probably the biggest thing in this was probably the biggest thing last week. One of the biggest things last week. All right, so we got this Entertainment Weekly thing, and we got a bunch of the posters. We got a lot of images, like different special covers and stuff. And it was really dope. It was nice, right? We got one specifically that I know a lot of people were going ham and crazy about, which was the Night King one. The Night King one specifically because he has the seven. What you call it? From the face of the seven in his eye. Damn, I'm forgetting off the top of my head. He has it in his eye, and it looks very interesting, right? It looks crazy. So, also in Entertainment Weekly, the actor that portrays the Night King actually had some really, really, really interesting quotes. And like I said, we had a bunch of different cool images and stuff, and that's really dope. But I mean, like the week after we get like a trailer, there's not much you could show us that would like drive us crazy or bonkers, right? Yeah, the 7-pointed star. Yeah, because it's sometimes it's kind of difficult, guys, to remember stuff while moving all of this. Like, if you guys saw all this shit, I have to click here. But he had a lot of dope shit to say. And some of the stuff that he had to say was this. So let me pull that up. So this is what the actor that portrays the Night King had to say about... They asked him... Only took 3 questions that they asked him that were interesting, that I found interesting at least. And we could talk about it before we head out and whatnot. But basically, the actor that portrays the Night King was asked, what does the Night King want anyway? Right? And then the actor that portrays him says, what does... he says, somebody made him the Night King. Nobody knows who he was before. A soldier or part of nobility. He never wanted to be the Night King. I think he wants revenge. Everybody in this story has 2 sides. A bad side and a good side. The Night King only has one side, a bad side. So basically, to me and to you guys, that's telling us he's out for blood. He wants to kill. He's basically a one-sided dude. He wants revenge. There's no redeeming quality to the Night King, basically, which to me is huge. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know what you guys think about that, because that was pretty big, in my opinion. Now, yo, the Big E, man, coming out with solid ones. He says the Night King, Time Magazine's Man of the Year. Definitely, definitely make Westeros great again. All right, let's see. He was a Stark, Nan said so, says Muse. Glory Brown, I really enjoy your chats. I can see you put lots of efforts and visuals. Thank you on keeping us entertained. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gloria. Let's see. He told a lot while no one gets to say anything about this season. That's true. To me, that's very telling. Why would they allow him to even say that? When I saw it, I was like, nah, this is a little bit weird, but okay. He also went on to say, they asked him also, what can we expect from him in the final season? And he went on to say, people will see he has a target he wants to kill. And you will find out who that is. There's also that moment in Hardhome when Jon Snow was on the boat and the Night King locked at him and raised his arms. There's a similar and even stronger moment between Jon and the Night King this time. And I'm like, yo, what? Like that moment when the Night King and Jon lock eyes at Hardhome, that shit was epic. It was really dope. I'm interested in seeing which one could be better than that. Like, I don't really think that you could. But then again, what if he revives like a dead Daenerys or some shit? Like, if Daenerys dies on the battlefield or falls off her dragon, and then Daenerys just comes to the Night King and he's like, I got your chick, man. And he's just like, you know what I mean? That's something. That's definitely something. That would be crazy. That's why I think Bran was talking to the Night King about coming home. That is true. I mean, there's something definitely there to the Night King and to the Starks, and there's something there that hasn't been said. Night King is tired and wants some hot cocoa. Can you blame the dude? Plus, there's no woman where he's at. Maybe her, or maybe he is looking for company. That's what I'm saying. Could you imagine he gets like Daenerys? He's like, yo, let's go home. And he reanimates Daenerys or whatever. He takes her home. Oh, man. Jon just banged his aunt, and then you gonna take her away from him? Oh, man. That's grimy right there, man. That's super grimy. Yes, probably after Dany now. I'm telling you, man, that would be super, super, super grimy. She's not gonna break the wheel. She's gonna break her neck falling. Damn. That was the one true David Adams. He went dark there, man. He went dark there. He went for it. Big E, my top 3 Night King targets are Bran, Dany, and Little Sam. Definitely. I think that Jon and Daenerys, but the way that he talks there, it makes it sound like as if Jon Snow is an add-on. It's not like the one person. I think he wants to kill Bran, but because Bran is kind of like the last remnant of like the Children of the Forest, right? He has all their information. If Bran really wanted to, he could probably find out how to make another Night King or make someone go through the same. He could redo that same process if the Three-Eyed Raven wanted to. So I think that by killing it, it would make sure that nothing ever happened like that again. So that would be interesting. Filthy Casual says, like this video if you think Rayz should write the dialogue for Game of Thrones. Hey, I do a mean-ass dragon. That was, I know people like that earlier. He had a chance to kill Jon and Bran. He did have a chance to kill Jon. I'm not sure if he had a chance to kill Bran, because Bran actually did escape. Like, you know what I mean? He probably could have kept on following him and whatnot and actually made it happen. But, I mean, the more I think about it, I do sometimes think that there might be something more linking Bran and the Night King together than there actually is. Like I said, I have a video that I wanna release on the Whites and like how the Night King could probably use their memory and what they know. Kind of like it's his own personal network, kind of like the Weirwoods. But then again, I'll talk about that in a video I have coming up soon. He had a chance to kill Dany. Yes, he did. He very much so did. I love Rayz Ice Dragon. Yeah, man, definitely. I should probably voice over a whole scene of me voicing the Ice Dragon. What you gonna? But that's not all. That's not all that he said though. Let's dig right into this one because he also did have another quote. This other quote was that I really liked, and it was very interesting. He was asked, "Do you have an all-time favorite Night King scene?" And he said, "That's still coming." What will the Night King do in the upcoming season? That is going to be bonkers, people. What will he do? What could the Night King do that he still hasn't done? To me, that is insane. Just the thought of it is crazy to me. You know what I mean? That there might be a scene that like we don't know. I mean, he brought down the wall. He killed the dragon. He had that stare off with Jon Snow. What could be more epic than those scenes? I know that's like. I agree with you, David. He says the one true David Adams says he's gonna do something even more better than taking down a dragon. Laugh out loud. That is 1,000% right. What is he gonna do that's gonna one up that? Like I don't see a scenario where you could actually one up killing a dragon with a freaking spear. Tina Sarah says a dance scene. I doubt it. I really do. I seriously doubt that. Is going to do something with the crib, says T Baby. I mean, him going to the cribs and being like, yo, I'm gonna go to sleep. And he just lies down in the crypts of Winterfell. It should be interesting. I know that's something that has been brought up, and I've even talked about it. It's interesting, the whole name of Winterfell. Winter probably fell there, or that's where winter will fall. The White Walkers bring winter. It would make poetic sense in a way, I guess. But it is interesting. It is very interesting. It should be funny to see what happens there. I think it's something down there, says T Baby. I think that there's something interesting and maybe a little bit odd. But I don't know. It should be interesting to see. Oh God. Oh God, bring up the bodies from the crypts. I would love that. I mean, but I just think there would be like, to me it would be interesting if he could reanimate the statues. But I mean, I think that everybody down there is dust and decay. Like they would just be bones. We wouldn't be able to recognize anybody. But guys, I think I'm gonna head out right now. I think I'm gonna end it. Before I head out, I wanted to tell you guys also that I have some stuff coming out, some merch. I'm not gonna be releasing it today. I have some designs that are still coming out. But I also wanted to tell you guys that I did see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I know we talked about that last week. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was mad dope. It was really good. I loved it. It was such a freaking great movie. It's not even funny. I would love to see Brand reanimate those statues. What you call it? That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Kind of like a la Harry Potter. But like I said, there's a couple of things. I know this stream was kind of, but it was due to the fact that last minute I had to kind of pivot and I kind of had to adjust. That's why the quality is a bit down, I think. It looks a little bit blurry on my end, but sorry about that, guys. Hopefully next week I should have everything settled again. Like I said, I saw Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse. It was dope. Really enjoyed that. I do have videos coming out this week. I should have like a video every other day. That's what I'm trying to go for. Every other day releasing videos. If you guys haven't, you guys can check out some of the videos I released this week. I think I released like 3 videos this week. It was mad dope, mad fun doing that. Thanks to everyone who joined us live. I will be going live next Saturday at 6:30. I did today Sunday because I was going to do the thing with Tony today, but next week I will be going to my original time that I always go, Saturday at 6:30. Hope to see you guys there. But as always, guys, it's a true pleasure. As always, guys, it's a true pleasure. My name is Ray, and peace. And hope to see you guys next week. It's gonna be mad dope. It's gonna be mad fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Everybody, good night. Plus, let me send you guys off with my dragon.